Hey friends, welcome back to that 1870s homestead. You're going to come in the garden with us today and we're going to do our big potato harvest. So come on. So this is the potato row and you can see it's pretty much just brown. They started dying back really quickly. I think it's just due to the lack of rain. You know, normally the dieback for me is a little slower, but it went really fast, like a matter of a week, 10 days. So I've been dreading it just because it's so hot and digging in dirt and your sweat and your dirt gets all over you. But Todd's going to help me. He's going to get the potato fork now. And I'm doing this angle so you guys can see how great the garden's looking. These are all my carrots. That'll be next. And the green beans are on this trellis right here. They need to be harvested. So I need to start harvesting those probably every other day or so. Tomatoes are coming in. Everything's doing good other than the peppers. My peppers stink this year. I think I've gotten three good peppers all season. And I planted my cucumbers late. Tons of flowers. Last time I looked, there was a couple cucumbers. So I'm hoping just for a late season harvest on those. And zucchini out the wazoo. Tons of pumpkins. The butternut squash with the pumpkins is working out really well. But the main video of today, or purpose of today's video, is this potato harvest here. So we're going to get going. This is our first year growing in this landscape fabric. I'll tell you more about that when we get down and start working in it. There you go.
So we have not fully decided on exactly how we're going to approach this. We just know that we have to remove this fabric to get the potatoes out. But we don't know if we want to just remove it all at once and then harvest, or kind of go slow in stages as we go across. So we may change our mind halfway through, depending on how things go and what lessons we learn in the beginning. But step one is to remove these landscape fabric staples, which we bought extra long ones, so they're extra hard to get out. There we go. And you're going to go through with a rice knife and cut all the plants off?
Cut all the plants off.
Okay. That'll allow us to kind of roll the fabric back as we go.
Yep.
And right here, I can do this one.
So hopefully this is coming up on camera. We haven't touched them at all. This is just what it looked like rolling back the landscape fabric. And I am seeing just a little bit of greening, not too bad. I know one of our viewers, when we were planting, oh, that's a beautiful one, show them that. One of our viewers said never again would they do potatoes under landscape fabric like this because they ended up with a lot of green tomatoes. So that was a concern of mine. And we may find out that it does get bad, especially down at the end. The plants are like completely died back. But we'll go through and with a potato fork and get oh, nice one. Get everything that we can. Wow, some really good ones.
They're not very deep at all.
Well, there could be some deep, honey.
My initial findings. There's some great looking potatoes.
Yeah. Man, this seed potato is still rock solid. It had lots of life left to give in it. I'm not sure why they gave up.
It's really dry.
Yeah, it is pretty dry.
We're supposed to get a bad storm come through tonight. So we thought we might as well get this done before everything turns to mud. Not that that's going to hurt our potatoes a ton, but yep, there's the seed potato right there.
Babies or I'll have potatoes for years.
This plant didn't come out God.
So I think what we're going to do is we're just going to go through and get the surface ones that we can easily dig out, and then come back through lightly with the potato fork and see if we missed anything. So a few onions running around. Good. You want me to do more? Keep going?
Yeah, keep going.
Oh, just pull out.
It's going pretty well so far. We did find, look at this one, landscape fabric staple. It grew right in between it, and now he's got like little marks. But this whole bottom half of them is probably perfectly fine.
So these are Kennebec potatoes. It's my favorite variety to grow for canning purposes. They hold up really well with texture when you can them. Yeah. Woo! Nice one. So I think we're having an observation. I don't know, Todd, if you feel the same way that I do, but the soil, I'm kind of disappointed in how it feels under this landscape fabric. It's pretty barren feeling. Like I'm seeing ants, but I'm not seeing any earthworms so far.
And it's so, you watered what is today? Today is Monday.
Yeah.
You said in the last, 5 days you watered 3 times?
In the last week. Full
In the
week.
last week?
Yeah.
Okay.
Because
But this soil is so dry.
so dry. I mean, you can see like all the layer of mulch that was underneath the landscape fabric. So it wasn't for lack of organic matter. You know, and I have heard that people just didn't feel like the water did penetrate penetrate landscape fabric as good. I figure it must, but maybe that's why professional growers have the drip irrigation.
Oh, maybe.
You know, because then it's not gonna, it has more time to soak in. I'm not sure. So far, though, I'm really sad about the condition of my soil.
It definitely doesn't seem alive.
No. I mean, there's ants and like little scorpion type bugs, but no, not the good earthworms that you need. But that being said, it did save me from a lot of weeding in this spot. But do you deal with the weeds and have healthy soil? Maybe. But it produced a ton of potatoes.
Yeah, it did. We've gone almost 10 feet. And what is this row? About 30 feet long.
Yeah.
And we've got almost an entire, what is that, half bushel?
Yeah, I think it's a full bushel.
Whole bushel?
I'd say like every 10 potatoes has some green on it. But we can cut around that. That's still perfectly edible. You just don't want to eat the green of a potato, but you can still use them. But if it's something like this that's mostly green, I will toss it.
Didn't you so didn't you plant Kennebec on
No.
like the what?
That's the prize.
It reminds me of like Bert's head from Sesame Street.
Yeah.
Didn't you plant Kennebec in like the whole thing, and then this half flooded,
Yeah.
and then you had to like replant
Yeah.
different varieties?
I mean, I think I always do one bag of the red New Orleans just because we like a red potato or something. Not anymore, but I just thought about that. Like, I'm going to have to give half these potatoes to the kids.
I wonder if the person who invented Velcro was a gardener. 'Cause I was just peeling green bean leaves off my shirt,
Oh, yeah.
and that would be like the perfect inspiration for somebody.
Thanks for making me do this job.
You're welcome. Isn't this not what you had planned for today?
I know. It's just going to get hotter and hotter this week and then rain. And he's like, if we're going to do it, let's go do it now.
Get it done.
Yeah.
2 bushels. These bushels are half bushels.
Oh, they are? I
don't
think
know.
they're bushel baskets.
A whole bushel?
Yeah.
Okay.
So, final thoughts. I'll tell you from my perspective. The weed fabric, for the most part, did its job. Where weeds came up was the holes that we planted the potatoes in. So, far less weeding. I'm fine. Is the potato harvest? Is it miraculous? No, it's fine. It's enough for the amount of potatoes that we eat, and we'll can them.
1 out of 15 is green.
1 out of 15 is green.
Probably that's my estimate.
Will we do it again? I say no. For potatoes, Ruth Stout is just as good at preventing weeds, and I feel like it creates healthier soil for me.
Me too.
Yeah. So
But I'm not the gardener. But my observation was
he
that
always does potato harvest with
I
me.
always do potato harvest, and I'm always looking for life, things that are alive, worms. Oh my gosh, look at this big worm.
Yeah.
Look at this big
Not
worm.
a
And there was
single
0
worm.
worms today.
Yeah,
for this
that's-
whole thing. So
Yeah.
that I don't like.
No, not at all. Not what my garden should be. So it makes me nervous. I guess maybe we didn't tell you, as we got kind of out of the direct sun section of the potato patch, the soil was lightly moist. It wasn't dead bone dry. And then it got dead bone dry again as we went on. So I'm not going to give up on it till we really wrap up this whole season. Because we've got 2 other spots with weed barrier,
Sweet potatoes?
sweet potatoes, and broccoli cabbage row. So I'll see what the condition of that soil is once we wrap up those 2 sections, and if it's doing a number, I might have to nix it. So It was worth the try. I mean, we've got lots of other uses for landscape fabric around the property with the blueberries and asparagus and things like that.
We'll use it, or we'll give some to, like, Claire might be able to use some in her garden. And
Yep. I don't know that I would recommend it though for anyone else is my point. All right. Thanks guys though for coming. It's a really great harvest. I mean, we've got some real whoppers here and some normal size, and then the little small ones I'll just throw in a Ziploc bag in the freezer. Oh, let's wrap this up properly. What are we going to do next with all these potatoes? I'm going to take them down to my basement and put cardboard down and just lay them out and let them cure for 2 weeks. Once they're dried and the skins have thickened, I'll store them in crates in the basement. Most of these will get canned. Not the reds. We'll eat through the reds first, but most of the whites will get canned. And all those little small ones, I throw in a Ziploc baggie, and we toss those in dishes.
roasts and things like that.
Roasts and things like that, yeah. So that's all I know. I'm sorry if I'm feeling a little down after the end of the video, but that is a real downer around my soil
condition. But it is
condition.
a lot of potatoes.
It is. They did a great job making potatoes. So
some of these are giant.
I know. Yeah.
Some.
All right. Thanks, guys, and we'll see you on the next video.
All right. Bye. Guys.